Of all the many parkrun participants, there is one man who has run more parkruns than anyone else in the world. I had the chance to speak with him on the podcast.
And I think when you've been fighting for so long in life, it gets to that tipping point, and I just broke.
And then, a few months later, in front of a live audience.
Thank you very much.
As the previous talk ended, I ran through a few bits.
There is one final person to talk to, the man that I mentioned earlier. One thing I will just quickly say, are there still crisps on there? Or are they all gone? There's still a lot of packets of crisps. Anyone over here if you need to grab one. There is still a stool here. Frost, do you want a stool? Because you were sat down.
I'm fine.
Okay. And there are toilets upstairs, in case anyone was too polite to go already.
And introduced Darren.
So the final man, I chatted to him on Jog On. It's the most downloaded episode ever. Darren knows a lot of people in the running world. He's a fascinating character. I was saying, he is the man who has run the most ever parkruns. So please welcome Darren Wood. So, Darren, for anyone that doesn't know, you were at the second ever parkrun. What are your memories of initially how parkrun was set up and how you got involved?
It was very low-key. I knew Paul Sinton-Hewitt, who obviously set that up from the running club. I was a member of Around the Harriers. I thought it was really only for fast runners. I still got that original email which came out saying about this bushy park time trial, as it was called back then. I thought, no, that's not going to be for me, I'm too slow. So I didn't really rock up to that first event, but the second one turned up. There were 14 people, I think there were 13 at the first. But it was very low-key. We kind of turned up in the car park and mingled around, had a bit of a chat, and then kind of went off, and that was really it. Tiny little numbers which we had punched with a number on, little metal discs which were there, hand done. None of this scanning of barcodes like it's done today or anything.
Yeah. No one at the time had any kind of realisation it would grow into this huge thing. It was an experiment, really, just to see if people wanted to meet up and have a free option for a time trial run or race, whichever you want to look at it.
Yeah, well, Paul got the idea from South Africa. He comes from over there, and they have time trials over there, and it's kind of like just race against the clock.
Yeah.
And that's where the original idea came from. He was injured, wanted to do something to, give something to others, and I suppose it's just taken off from there, but who knew it was going to be that large and grow? You
get quite a bit of stick. We mentioned it when we chatted before about not being at the first ever one, and it's something that people always bring up, isn't
Why
it?
weren't you at the first ever?
Pain in my life.
So obviously then you just start going to another one, and another one, and another one, and does it just become a routine for you? What is it that makes you keep coming back to parkrun?
It's just a habit. It's just Saturday mornings. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be out with your friends? No, it's just there, it's always been.
And for you, I mean, that took the form of a lot of volunteering as well, because I know sometimes people have brought up, there's that go-to knee-jerk reaction, do you ever volunteer? But you've actually volunteered a lot.
Yeah, I think it's 495 or
yeah,
something times.
It's a few times.
Well
it's a few, but there are roles at parkrun which you can do as well as running, so you can volunteer as well as run.
Yeah, it's not always just marshalling.
No, at Frimley Lodge, I've been around and I've obviously put out the signs. You can do barcode scanning if you're quick enough to go through run. So when I'm injured, I'll often tail walk. I've had enough injuries and bits in the past to...
Yeah, we spoke about that. You did one on crutches one day, didn't you? What was that like?
I've done a few on crutches over the 15 years. But, I've got around 57 minutes. Wasn't bad. They're probably quicker than some people walking, but and I got that time down to 37 minutes. That's my fastest ever on crutches. Yeah.
I mean, huge goal for you and a massive milestone. We have to go back now a couple of years back, but you were the first person to ever hit 500 parkruns, and you got a top. They gave you a cape for that, which is interesting.
They did create a cape for that. Yes. There wasn't any of that. I want to be the first to this. There wasn't a 50 club back in the day. So I still don't have that 50 club t-shirt. Am I more to buy that?
Clearly.
No. I think it was the after effect of that as well. And it's not about the time for me. It used to be. I used to want to, and I will often go through and want to run hard. But it's more about the community feel for me, which makes it. Some people know I suffered with a lot of mental health last year. I went to the doctor on the day when I had an article come out from Runners World about my numbers and bits and pieces where I was in a dark place. I tried to commit suicide the night before, was in a very dark place, but I think that was on the Monday or the Wednesday or something, and trying to go to parkrun on that first day after, I didn't think I could do it. I think it was the first time which I thought, I don't know if I can get out of the door. I was sweating profusely, and it was just like, what am I doing? You know, there's been so much social media attention about this Runner's World article, and there's me at rock bottom, not being able to even get out the door now. What are people going to think?
What got you out the door in the end?
It's hard, because I was on my way to Park Run, I kept on going around roundabouts, I'd be turning around to go home thinking, I can't do this. Rocked up there, met Mark, who I put up the signs with from my lodge.
Yeah, by the way, Mark, who puts the signs up, his surname is Signs. This is a true story. Mark Signs is in charge of the signs. It's the highlight of the episode. You don't even
So I suppose it was the norm for me to be there, but it was still hard because of what I was going through at that time. And I had a similar thing back in December when I had a lapse. I had to have 3 weeks off work. The gut feel was, well, unless you stop running, it's never going to go away, so we need to work a way of managing your anxiety with that pressure, and it's only going to increase as you get closer to the 1,000.
It's trying to get that balance as well of not turning up, but turning up because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. And I think you don't want it to become an unhealthy relationship with parkrun.
No, and I think it has at times, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You know, there was a recent interview on another podcast, The Free Weekly Time.
You've been on another podcast? I wasn't aware of this. Right, have you had a good night?
But it was very interesting about addictions with running addictions, and it kind of took me back a little bit and made me think, is that partly me? Is that not? Have I had that? And I probably have in the past. Parkrun has always been there. And, you know, I've been quite open since that podcast. You know, people have said it's quite raw. You know, things have obviously progressed since then. You know, I've had quite a lot of change. I've had to leave my wife, but that was damaging my mental health, that marriage. And yes, it sucks, but life goes on. You know, you've got to do what's right for you as an individual. And I mean, it was Vicky originally who stopped me with the suicide attempt on that night when I was there, because I'd been messaging her, and she was there to she tried calling me, and that's kind of stopped me. So you've probably got her to thank for that. It's tough. That's where I was, and this is where I've now come. And you come out the other end as a much stronger person from there.
Who here has done parkrun? How many people here? Everyone?
Not this one.
Oh, you need to go. Final note then, Darren, before we close up. You mentioned that number, 1,000. Is that the big goal? Is it to hit 1,000 and walk off into the sunset?
After what he's just said, probably not.
1,000 is the goal. After the 750, I went into Feltham Young Offenders Prison Institute to go through and do a park run there and try and inspire some of the young lads.
You never know with Darren.
You never know, that's where I grew up, you know. That was quite inspiring to go in there and see the effect which parkrun's having on some of those young lads. I was told that the reoffending rate is 64% in prison. 64% of them will reoffend and they'll be back in. But if you're active in running, or you're active in any kind of sport when you're in prison, it reduces down to 16%. Well, that's a massive difference. I have been invited to a ladies-only prison on International Women's Day, down at Downview, to go and have a talk chat with these ladies.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
How do I feel about that, going into a ladies-only prison? I'm not sure. I started watching Prison, a series on BBC.
That's probably not a good idea.
I'm not too sure about that.
Brilliant. Well, you can see why Darren was such a downloaded episode. He's a fascinating character. I've been fascinated with him since I met him. Darren, thank you so much, and best of luck for the future. Which I think leads me to wrap up. We hope to do another of these, in 6 months or so time, and have a chat about it. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been absolutely brilliant. Thanks, guys, for chatting. It's been absolutely excellent. Final plug from me. Any podcast app, you can type in Jog On. There's a YouTube channel called Jog On with Harry Morgan. If you ever want to check it out, the Darren episode, it gets deeper than that. So check it out. Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming along. I've been Harry. Thank you.